y'all, some more of my shenanigans of just stuff I'm doing on the truck. So this has fell through. The outer ring has came off. And then this one, it be spinning and doing this wacky stuff, right? And then it's also, I can feel it coming off the frame. So I'm going to attempt to pull this out. I've already took out, there's a screw here, screw down the bottom, and then there's a screw there, and a screw there. So since I'm obviously doing this, I'm going to do this in sections. So yeah. All right, I got it off. And boy, look at here. And this is pretty much what we're working with. So I have the ring. And oh, this is crazy. I gotta let my seat down so I can get the hell from under here. There we go. Because I had to put the steering wheel up. Now I can find the ring. I had it up here somewhere. There it is. So, and I guess these guys just come off over time. So I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to see if I can get this back on here. I'm going to put, my ideal is to put some silicone around here, probably some glue, and see if that glue will help. It looked like this may have just actually broken off from the actual housing, the lip. So we're gonna see. All right, so if you can see that, I just put it back on here. There's grooves to line this up so it goes on the right way. So if you look, you see that little notch, and there's a notch in here, and this is broke like I suspected, so the glue should do the trick. Now I gotta just get it back on here because I done took it off. There we go. So I'm going to glue that on, and then we're going to pull this ring off and then reinstall it, and that should hold it in place, but we'll see. Okay, once I removed the two top clips, these here, and it'll allow it to lay down. And then we want to reinstall our bracket like this one here. And what we want to do is line the holes up like that and slowly tighten them. You don't want to over tighten these because you'll break the face right off. You just want to tighten it so that it snugs up the gauge. And the gauge has to go in a certain way because there's a notch at the bottom of the gauge. So that's how you know when you got it centered. Plus you'll know because if you look at your numbers, they're going to look weird. They're not going to be centered. So I'm going to go ahead and put these screws in. Obviously I can't do it with holding the camera, but I'll get a picture of it once it's done. All right, guys, so I snug these up, and I'll just use this little tool. It's a T. Can I see it? I can't even see it because it's so small. Let's see. T. Hey, what is that? Let me see if I can focus in on that. I don't know. I know the other end looks like a 10. So maybe it's an 11. I don't know. But I literally just tightened it with my fingers till I couldn't tighten it anymore. And that's all you need. I mean, you don't want to over tighten it because you'll pull it too tight. And you can move, it's tight. I can try and twist it. It ain't going anywhere. And we plug the clips back in, and then we're good to go. But I got to take this other one off and repair it as well. Let's flip this over and see. Oh, yeah. Woo, that's going to make a world of difference. And then look, this one, I can't move that one anymore. I ain't even going to try and move it anymore. But we're going to go ahead and fix this guy. So this one, I'm undoing the screw. And when you tighten it back, don't try and get it flush. You should have a little bit of a gap between the bracket and the gauge. Don't be trying to tighten it to the point where you're trying to get that bracket flush with it. You'll will definitely break and strip out the little hole that's holding the screw, because these don't need to be that tight again. I can't stress that enough. And like I said, I tighten them just finger tight till I can't pretty much turn it. They're pretty tight and they're in there. The notch is going to keep it from going anywhere. And there's our bracket. And then we should be able to take these clips off. We got to squeeze it's a little squeeze at the end, a little squeeze. You can feel it. You got to squeeze it and pull it. No force. Let's lift this guy up. He's ready to come out of here. Yeah, he's breaking off too. He's trying to break off the rest of the way. I got to get it so that there it is. Cause see, you see the little notch. You have to line that notch up with that for it to come out properly. And see, this one isn't came off completely, but they just break from here. See, this side is still intact, but this side is breaking just from old age. So I closed it and I literally just put super glue around it. I didn't open it up and put super glue on the edge. I just coated tight and ran a bead of super glue around it. So I'm going to do that and I'll get back. So I ran the super glue around it and I'm just holding it, letting that first little layer dry, and I'm gonna hit it with another layer of super glue. And like I said, you could use silicone. Silicone to give it a little bit more bounce, a little I would imagine a little bit more for vibration needs. It will absorb some of that vibration. But the thing is, when you start tightening those screws, I think the silicone will scratch a little bit, but I think it would also help with the vibration. Because again, if you do it right, you don't need to put that much torque on the bolts, because that notch is pretty much what's holding it in place. But you could definitely do this with silicone. You have to let it sit and cure so that it's hard and rigid before you install the gauge. I started to do that, but I said no, super glue will work just fine. So I'm just letting this dry. You guys can see the clear right there. You see how I put that in there? And I just ran it around. Again, I held it tight and ran it around, because the glue will hold. It'll get where it needs to get. You don't need to open it up and try and put it on the edge and then close it to get it. It's overkill. You don't need to do that. And plus, it just makes a mess, like I did on my pants. I got 2 drops of super glue on my pants. But yeah, I'm going to put this other bead around and then we'll go ahead and reinstall this one. All right. So I'm going to try and film just how tight these should be. So you can hear it. I don't know if you guys heard that little click, 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 like it pulled itself in. You know, let's go to the next one. I'm sorry, these cables are in the way, so you can't see the bolt. There it is. I'm just turning it till I feel it snug, and my fingers can barely turn it. And that's all you need. You don't need to try and over tighten these. You know what you do, you just do them both again to make sure they're tight, because as you tighten one side will loosen a little bit, but that's enough. You don't want to do it. All right, we'll plug our plugs in. So this one goes here, and they're already in the position that they want to be, so that way you don't get them mixed up. You shouldn't have to flip the plug. It should go right in if it's the right location. I'll plug this top in, and then we'll see how it is. Well, that's it. Let me go ahead and start the truck up, make sure that my speed gauge is working, RPM. Oh, yep, everything is looking like it's supposed to. I'll take that. So I'm going to just put these screws back in on the cover here, and this will be another finished Sunday job. Hope that helps somebody.
Later.